Happy Friday. I hope you guys are doing well. I know there's a lot of stress out there. I've heard from Amy, and I just want to go over a few things. After reviewing all the lessons, I think I know what is causing you guys stress, and that is the fact that I have given you too much time to complete the QRI. I think that's what it boils down to. I want to refresh your memory about a few things. Now remember, you should have read all the important points of the QRI manual. You were assigned to read those, and I think you have forgotten that you've read those, but remember the QRI manual teaches you how to administer it step by step. Okay, my lessons do a brief job of that, but the actual QRI book actually takes you through and tells you how to score it, gives you samples, etc. Okay. First off, the word list that you did back in lesson 5. You are going to report the levels for instructional, independent, and frustration, okay, for those word lists. That's all you have to do. You don't have to turn that in, okay, just report them. Then you are going to move on and you are giving them, you start at the instructional level, or if your student is, if you feel like the student needs self-confidence, maybe you start at the independent level. So if my student scored level 5 at an instructional level on that word list, and I felt like that student is going to be doing okay with level 5, you got to use a lot of your, common sense and your intuition, then I'm going to go into the book at level 5, and I'm going to select a story to do, okay, and this is called a protocol. Okay, so I'm finding one. Here's Patricia McKidzick, level 5. Remember, there are prior knowledge questions. Then you are coding. Got to go this side. Coding the errors. So that means you're looking for their oral reading score, okay, when you're coding those errors. There's a box. I think I've gone over this, but I'm going to go over it again. There's this box here that tells you at what level, how many miscues would be independent, how many would be instructional, and how many would be frustration. Okay. If you were to give that list and they hit frustration, you could stop right there. Don't tell them why you're stopping because they might be self-conscious, and backtrack. Okay. But if they do okay on that area, then you're going to ask them to retell the story, which is right here. And then you're going to check for their reading comprehension. These are the questions. There's scoring for this, how to score inside the QRI manual. So you use your table of contents if you're looking for something like that, okay? And basically it has another box where you find out if they're independent, instructional, or frustration. And you've got to remember something. You need an instructional level on a passage for both sections, oral reading and comprehension, that are at an instructional level. If you frustrate at one and you have instructional at the other, you need to go down, okay? If you find, like for instance, if I tested this student at level 5 and they were instructional but they were close to frustration and you sense frustration, stop, okay? But if they were almost at an independent level, then you would continue until you hit a frustration level. What you are turning in will be the one protocol, the one story or informational text with your notes about how that student did and the scoring, and then you will write the QRI report using the template I gave you. You can, on that template, leave the instructions for administration of that, the description of the test. That's not plagiarism in this sense. I want you to know what the test is and how to give it. That's why I have you write it that way. And then what I want you to do is write the report and turn in the one protocol that's the highest instructional level. Okay? And I think what's happened is this has taken us 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 weeks. Lesson 6, you read about the scoring guidelines in the QRI, okay? And so sometimes if you get in a rush, maybe you didn't read it as well as you should have, or maybe you didn't have time and it wasn't, you didn't have something to do at that point. So look back at lesson 6 if you need to find out about the scoring guidelines. Lesson 7 gives you a step-by-step of how to administer it, okay? Some of you asked about listening and silent reading. There are instructions on there for what to do if they're needed. Okay, not everybody's going to have that. Lesson 8 gives you a step-by-step of how to make sense of the results that you get so that you can write implications for instruction. Okay, and lesson 10 is when you're turning it in. Okay, and in the section that's assignments, it tells you what to turn in. And again, you're only turning in the QRI report, which there is a template for it. And I think the template's in that step-by-step chapter, which would be lesson 7. And you're turning in the one protocol. It's 3 or 4 sheets that you use to score the student. Okay, I hope that helps you. I taught this course when I first came to UWF, and we had a different system then. The e-learning was different, and mine was formatted differently. I didn't have the problems that I've had this semester. So what that tells me is it needs to be restructured. Okay, and your emails help me. I know some of you think you bother me, but you're not. They help me in determining what needs to be redone for the next instructor, because I won't teach it next semester. Someone else will. And, you know, I can sit down with that individual and say, here are the problems. This is what needs to be restructured. And I know the QRI, that needs to be restructured. Okay. I talked to the professor that did it last semester, and she said she just didn't want to overwhelm the students. But in a sense, it's so disjointed that I think that's why you're having trouble. Okay. If you have any questions, email me. Remember to use that QRI. It's you know, everything is in there. So if you need to look at a specific way to score something like the prior knowledge, they teach you how to do that, and they give you samples in there. Okay, and that's on page 44, for instance. So let me know how you're doing. If you're having problems, please, you know, throw out the lifeline. I'll reel you in. Okay, and thank you for a great semester. I know we're all ready for it to be over with, and you're rounding the corner, so hang in there, okay? Have a very nice day, guys.